Kaori Itadori, Mother. Kaori Itadori was a sorcerer within Jujutsu society who possessed an anti-gravity curse technique, a rare ability that allowed her to manipulate gravitational forces. Her role in Yuji's family tree becomes far more complex after her death, when Kenjaku took over her body using his brain transplant technique, which allows him to inhabit and control corpses while accessing their cursed energy and memories. Through Kaori's body, Kenjaku maintained her identity convincingly enough to deceive even close family members. Kaori's body ultimately became the vessel through which Yuji was conceived, making her both Yuji's biological mother and the physical medium Kenjaku used to execute his long-term genetic experiment. Jin Itadori, Father. Jin Itadori was a non-sorcerer whose importance in Yuji's birth stemmed from his direct connection to his father, Wasuke Itadori. Despite repeated warnings from his father that continuing his relationship with Kaori would lead to his death, Jin remained emotionally attached due to Kenjaku perfectly replicating Kaori's personality and presence. Jin did not carry any reincarnated soul himself. Rather, his genetic relevance came from being the direct descendant of his father, who unknowingly carried a far deeper ancestral burden. Jin's role was therefore circumstantial, serving as the biological bridge that allowed Kenjaku to access Wasuke's lineage and use it in the creation of Yuji. Kenjaku, third parent. Kenjaku's possession of Kaori makes him Yuji's third parent on a genetic and metaphysical level, as he orchestrated the conception, implanted one of Sukuna's fingers into Yuji before birth, and engineered the conditions necessary for perfect vessel compatibility. By controlling Kaori's body, cursed energy, and biological functions, Kenjaku deliberately shaped Yuji into a special grade body.
You've probably never even really meant.
Yes! I crushed it!
Designed to act as Sukuna's ultimate cage. His involvement extended beyond birth, as he later manipulated outside events, such as planting another Sukuna finger at Yuji's school, to push Yuji into the role Yuji had been constructed for from the beginning. Wasuke Itadori, grandfather. Wasuke Itadori was Yuji's grandfather and the only family member who raised him, becoming his primary emotional and ancestral influence. Unknown to himself, Wasuke was the carrier of the reincarnated soul of Sukuna's twin. This dormant soul never manifested through power, but it shaped his bloodline, making it uniquely compatible with Sukuna on a spiritual level. Wasuke was aware that Jin's relationship with Kaori was dangerous and repeatedly warned him to stop, correctly predicting his death if he continued. After the parents' disappearance, Wasuke raised Yuji and witnessed his extraordinary physical ability, earning him the nickname Tiger of West Junior High. His final words, urging Yuji to save others and not die alone, became both a moral foundation and an unintended catalyst. Guiding Yuji toward the fate that Kenjaku had already prepared through Wasuke's inherited lineage. The Death Painting Wombs, Yuji's 9 brothers. The 9 Death Painting Wombs, 3 special grade hybrids, Choso, Eso, and Kechizu, and 6 lesser-known fetuses, were created 150 years ago, when Kenjaku, inhabiting Noritoshi Kamo, conducted forced pregnancies on a woman with unique genetics. These experiments combined human DNA, cursed spirit DNA, and Kenjaku's own modifications, resulting in 9 hybrid beings sealed as cursed objects. All 9 are considered Yuji's half-brothers because they share Kenjaku as one of Yuji's 3 parents. Choso, Eso, and Kechizu eventually incarnated as fully realized cursed beings. While the remaining 6 remained undeveloped cursed wombs, stored by Jujutsu High, placing all 9 within Yuji's expanded family tree, despite being born over a century before him. Choso, half-brother. Choso is the most complete and emotionally intact result of Kenjaku's death painting experiments, serving as the eldest figure among Yuji's cursed siblings. As one of the 3 special grade death paintings to successfully incarnate, Choso retained a stable sense of identity shaped entirely around the concept of family, despite never living a human life. His existence is defined by his role as an older brother. Positioning him as the primary link between Yuji and the death painting lineage created long before Yuji's birth. This connection is rooted in shared origin rather than circumstance, as both Choso and Yuji were shaped by the same curse engineering system designed to merge human structure with cursed lineage. Because of this shared foundation, Yuji's body can integrate the remaining death painting wombs without rejection, allowing inherited traits such as blood manipulation to manifest naturally. Through Choso, Yuji's place within the death painting family is not symbolic, but structural, confirming that his family tree extends beyond human ancestry into a unified hybrid lineage. Eso, half-brother. Eso was one of the 3 death painting wombs who successfully incarnated, making him part of the first generation of Kenjaku's experiments to achieve functional autonomy. Unlike Choso, whose instincts gravitated toward familial recognition, Eso remained defined by resentment and loyalty to the death painting lineage rather than any future connection to Yuji. His life was shaped by confinement and objectification, spending decades sealed as a cursed object before incarnating, which left him with no sense of belonging outside his brothers. Within Yuji's family tree, he represents the path Yuji could have followed had he been born as a completed cursed hybrid rather than a stabilized vessel, alive, functional, but disconnected from humanity. Kechizu, half-brother. Kechizu was the most physically unstable of the incarnated death paintings, emerging with a malformed body that reflected the incomplete nature of Kenjaku's early experiments. His existence illustrates the high failure rate that preceded Yuji's creation, emphasizing why Yuji is considered the perfected outcome of Kenjaku's philosophy. Within Yuji's family tree, he serves as a reminder that Yuji's stability was not guaranteed but achieved through refinement, making him an essential contrast that highlights why Yuji survived where others could not. Sukuna, ancestral connection. Sukuna is the king of curses, a legendary sorcerer from the Heian era whose soul persists through 20 indestructible cursed fingers. His influence extends beyond possession, shaping bloodlines and vessels across generations. Sukuna's connection to Yuji is not the result of possession alone, but of a shared ancestral framework rooted in the reincarnation of Sukuna's twin. Because twins are treated in Jujutsu lore as 2 halves of a single soul, Sukuna's consumption of his twin during the Heian era permanently altered the structure of that soul, rather than erasing it. When the twin soul later reincarnated within Wasuke Itadori, it established a bloodline capable of interacting with Sukuna on equal spiritual footing, rather than being overwhelmed by him. This lineage explains why Sukuna cannot fully overwrite Yuji's identity. Even after consuming multiple fingers, Yuji's soul does not resist Sukuna through willpower alone. It already contains a related soul framework that prevents absolute dominance. Instead of a hierarchy where Sukuna replaces the host, their coexistence forms an unstable equilibrium, meaning Sukuna can only achieve total control by removing Yuji from the system entirely. Kenjaku engineered Yuji with this limitation in mind. A vessel that could be immediately overwritten would lose its usefulness once Sukuna incarnated, but a vessel capable of sustained containment offered long-term strategic value. Yuji's body functions as a controlled environment that allows Sukuna to accumulate power without triggering premature release, aligning with Kenjaku's broader objective of forcing large-scale evolution through the culling game. This structure also clarifies why Yuji's physical growth and combat potential progress independently of Sukuna's direct influence. His strength is not borrowed from Sukuna, but produced by a body conditioned to survive continuous exposure to extreme cursed energy. Each battle further reinforces this adaptability, gradually refining Yuji into a vessel optimized for endurance rather than possession. As a result, Yuji occupies a singular position within the Jujutsu hierarchy. He is neither a conventional sorcerer nor a disposable host, but a convergence point where ancestral lineage, cursed object saturation, and deliberate engineering intersect. The Kamo clan, ancestral connection. Because Kenjaku created the death paintings while inhabiting Noritoshi Kamo, Yuji indirectly inherits a branch of the Kamo clan's lineage through Kenjaku's role as his third parent. This connection links Yuji to one of the oldest and most influential sorcerer families, albeit through an artificial rather than blood-based relationship. The Kamo clan has historically produced exceptionally strong sorcerers, and Kenjaku's experiments with the clan's authority and resources directly contribute to Yuji's broader genealogical complexity. This layered affiliation explains why Yuji's family tree spans multiple eras, clans, and forms of life: human, cursed, and engineered hybrids.